imagination. In fact, Einstein said it best. Imagination is more powerful than knowledge. I love that. And I love what you're saying, Fleet. It's so beautiful to know that there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and that we can use it, and that we are using it. And so this morning, and I want you to know that I have never done the Alice in Wonderland symbolism in the 45 years of my ministry. I've done the Wizard of Oz, I've done, other mythological symbology, and it was very, very fun for me just to acknowledge that how far down the rabbit hole do we want to go? And I was sharing on my 45th anniversary on October 11th that I feel that in the last 2 years I've gone all the way and come back up again. And when we make a decision that all cause, effect, record, and memory that no longer serves us, returns to its native nothingness from whence it came, then we are inviting absolute clarity. And one of the things that I share as we set the tone for our morning ritual at our beautiful spiritual center here at the Rose of Sharon Sanctuary in my home, since we've had the lockdown, is that we join together and each person shares one word that they want from the service, that they want to embody in the service. And we heard this morning love, and we heard peace, and we heard health and prosperity. All the energies that acknowledge that we are happy, healthy, prosperous, and free. This is the truth for us and with us. And that when we make the declaration, all cause, effect, record, and memory of that which no longer serves, that there is a cleansing and a purification process that comes up. And it can feel like a dark night of the soul. And we've all been through the dark night of the soul. We think, am I ever going to get through this? We get it, that the light at the end of the tunnel, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And it is not an oncoming train. It truly is the light at the end of the tunnel. So this morning, as we acknowledge a tea party that matters, and I have been to high tea all over the world, and as you know that when I was speaking in Africa, where I spoke for many, many years, every year, sometimes twice a year, to 25,000 students and faculty at Madonna University, that the founder is a Catholic priest. And when he heard me speak in Oxford, England, at St. Catherine's College, he came to me afterward and he said, "Will you come to Nigeria?" And I said, yes, when would you like me to come? He said, in 8 weeks. I went, oh my God, okay, well, we're going to work this out, I guess. And so, I got it together in 8 weeks from Oxford, England, over to Nigeria, a 21-hour flight. And when I got off the plane, it was fascinating because there are the men in the berets, and they've got their camouflage, and they got their combat boots and machine guns over the shoulder. And they came up to me and they said, "Are you the angel lady?" And I said, "Yes, I am. I'll take it." And what was so fascinating is I pass out 14-karat gold angels, and they're little pins. And anyone who has been particularly kind to me, in fact, I was in San Francisco at the ticket counter, and there was a mechanical failure on the plane. So the plane was going to be detained for 24 hours. I'm on my way to Nigeria. So this ticket agent was so sweet up at the counter. I said, "You are being so sweet." She's, how they get on that, the computer, and they're just doing everything they can. They said, "We're going to put you up for the night." And all of this. And, there's people in line, of course, and they're really, really, excuse my French, pissed off that the flight is now canceled for 24 hours. So so I said, "You are so sweet, and you are such an angel. I'm going to give you an angel pin placed above your heart where your dreams reside. This is an interfaith angel. This will lift you above the appearances, the conditions, and the effects of life as they show up." And then, one of my congregation was there. She was going somewhere else. She goes, "Oh my God, that's Dr. Sharron." And she comes running up and she goes, "This is Dr. Sharron." And she starts kind of giving my bio right there at the ticket counter. And there's a guy online, he says, "For Christ's sake, I don't care who in the hell she is. Let's get this going." And the ticket agent said, "You will be quiet. And if you have an outburst again, I will call security. You be quiet." So I turned to him and I said, "Open your hand." I was not going to put the angel on him because, he was so rude that I thought I might stick him. So I handed him an angel. And I said, "Just put this in your pocket and just know that we're all going to get to where we're going. It's all going to unfold. It always does. Screaming and swearing and blaspheming isn't going to get you there any faster, right?" And so got to Nigeria. I was 24 hours late, and I didn't have the right phone numbers. A university number takes you to, it's like an automatic thing. You leave a message. And so at 2 a.m., I arrive in Nigeria, and they call Dr. Ida, who is the Catholic priest who founded Madonna University. He founded 2 Madonna universities, a polytechnic center. He founded 5 manufacturing companies where the unemployed in Africa are now gainfully employed. This man has done everything. I could go on, and he's an amazing author. And it was fascinating. So I went several years and would pass out my angels. So this morning when we're looking at a tea party that matters, and the invitation that we have, he had a tea. And in that tea, he had the medical doctors, the past staff. He was the staff doctor over all of Hamburg University. And then he had the professors and other medical doctors. And, everybody was there. I was really the only minister that was represented besides one of the priests. And as they sat there, they said, we are now founding the International Foundation for World Peace and Research. And we want you to be the president. We actually agreed upon this before you came into the room. And I said, I really, I'm a minister from Palm Springs, California. This is like higher academia here. And they said, and I was just like so taken aback. I refused. And they said, no. When you speak, we learn. And the humility in this remark from the chief of staff at Hamburg University to share that with me, and I thought, we have a universal message here in the science of mind. Remember, the laws of science, the opinions of philosophy, the revelations of religion apply to human need and the aspirations of man and woman. So if we look at the energy of our way of life, that our message is positive, it's uplifting, it's acknowledging that nothing is impossible. When Jesus said, nothing is impossible. You can say to this mountain, this obstacle, this problem, this challenge, remove hence, and it does. Because with God, all things are possible. But with man, they are impossible, because man's going to try to force it. He's going to take that, that little, the square and the round, what is it? To try to put the square peg into the round hole, right? Forcing things. But with God, all things flow with ease and grace. Whatever you conceive your God to be, whatever name you put on your higher power, it matters not. But to acknowledge that which is within us is greater than that which resides in the world of conditions, appearances, and effects. And I love biographies, and I read the biography of Golda Meir. And she was chosen to go to America and to be the main fundraiser for Israel, so Israel could become a state. And we know what happened during the Holocaust, that many thousands of Jews went into Israel. And so they needed funds. And so the prime minister turned to what? A woman. To Golda, who always served, tea and coffee to all heads of states that came to Israel. They came to her little living room and she was serving coffee, cake, and tea. And they chose her to come to America and to go around the world to raise funds. Her Tea Party, who did she bring to the table? The President of the United States. Who did she bring to the table? The Prime Minister of England. Who did she bring to the table? Anyone and everyone that she thought could make a difference and put Israel on the map. I just love this. And we look, who are we going to bring to our Tea Party? And I was, as I was voted as the president of the International Foundation for World Peace, I thought, who can I have endorse Father Ida? And when I went to the Nobel Peace Prize Institute, and I met with the director, and I shared his book, The Charity Peace Model. I was doing presentations all over the world on the Charity Peace Model, and shared the book, gave him the book, and talked about Father Ida's background and founding these universities and these manufacturing companies and the amazing work that he was doing with 25,000 students and faculty. Think of it. I mean, this is amazing. And I was sharing this with the director of the Nobel Peace Prize Institute. And he said, this is just so admirable. And he said, but I want to hear about you. And I said, what do you want to know about me? And he goes, I want to know what makes a woman like you advocate an African priest in Nigeria, in Alili, Africa. I'm fascinated. And he said, when I walked in, I saw a long, white, beautiful cashmere coat hanging up. I knew it must be you. And I said, you hadn't even met me. He goes, yes, I had in my mind. And we had this amazing connection. He calls someone in to bring us in lattes. We're talking about our lives, what brings us into sacred service, what acknowledges, and he gave me a private tour around the Nobel Peace Prize that the public doesn't see this tour. This is like the private tour. And to be in the energy and the certificates they give to the Nobel Peace Prize recipients are also hanging on their wall. There are, 2 copies. So to be in the midst of Nelson Mandela, to be in the midst of Einstein and Mother Teresa, and to see these amazing plaques of Martin Luther King hanging on the wall, and amazing people. Elie Kazan, and some of the others that were up there. And Elie Wiesel as well, the Holocaust survivor that wrote some amazing books. Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. And one of the things that Viktor Frankl said is that he realized when he was in the concentration camp, they could strip them of every physical thing, but they could not take away their freedom of choice and how they were going to respond to this experience. Just as, that amazing Booker T. Washington, who was elbowed off the sidewalk because he was black. And his friend said to him, how can you allow that to happen? He said, I defy any man to make me hate. I defy any man to make me hate. I refuse. No one can, and I love this, no one can really say this is how you're going to think and this is how you're going to choose this experience. We hold it within ourselves. So this is why imagination is more powerful than knowledge. That the creativity that comes up within us through each experience, what are we gathering from our experiences? Are we empowered or are we embittered? Are we empowered or are we embittered? And I'm going to leave you with this amazing story. I flew over to Geneva, Switzerland, to meet with the President of the United Nations, a woman, Carolyn Hanshin. I had met her in New York when I was presenting at the United Nations on the Charity Peace Model. And we sat down and had tea. And as we sat and had tea, she said, I came up with something that I feel is very powerful. And she said, there's the patriarchy, and we've had the patriarchy forever. And it has not worked. It does not serve. We've also had the matriarchy. You know, it has worked, you know, just as the patriarchy in some ways, but other ways, no. But I came up with familyarchy, that we are all one human family. Who are we bringing to the tea party? Who are we bringing to our table? Familyarchy, the family of humanity in our oneness. So in this, how far down the rabbit hole do we want to go? If you viewed my 45th anniversary presentation, you will know I went all the way down. And I came all the way up. And that as a minister for 45 years in this way of life, consecutively, that we learn, we grow, and we unfold as long as we are here. And as we open to the truth that sets us free, that freedom touches others, that touch others, that touch others. Each one, reach one. So today, I acknowledge you and I acknowledge our journey, and that we are all going somewhere. Do you know where that is? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. We are in a high place and we will not come down. None of these things move us. None of them. We are in a high place and we will not come down. I say to you, namaste. The God in me salutes the God in you, and the God in you, and our august body of wonderful women that are here today. Fleet surrounded by women. It's wonderful, isn't it, Fleet? We just love you and acknowledge you. And we say, the God in me salutes the God in you, and the God in you salutes the God in me. And if I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there is only one of us. Namaste. I say shalom, the peace that passes all understanding. And God bless us, everyone. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you.